Hello. Today I'm going to tell you how I pull the head off of a Model A engine. The Model A engines have studs that are very tight in the head. Therefore you have to pull the head off straight up. I've heard people using the good old chisel and hammer. They set it where the head gasket is and hammer it. However, with this method you may damage the water passages, the cast area where the water passages are close to the side of the head. It's on this side. Also, if you hammer on one side, you lift the head on one side, which may make it jam. The best method is to put something in the spark plug threads and pull the head off straight up. I made this tool, a head puller, from a thick plate, approx 5/8 of an inch, approx 15 millimeters. It's stainless steel, it's pretty strong. To build it, it needs to be very good on the tolerances from the center to center of all the holes of the head. Therefore, I used an old cracked head, like this one, and I made a drill guide on my lathe, which goes into here. I drill this hole, and for the spark plugs, I use an old spark plug where I smash the white bit out, and with a larger drill which fits straight into the hole which is left, I can use this as a guide. Screw it in, drill, and there you go. Be aware that if you drill, you have to clean out the material that comes out often, otherwise the whole setup will jam and you have to start all over again. Okay, after that I make a thread in here. For me the M metric 14 works very well, so I can screw this one in and this one goes in here. Show you in a minute. Okay, there we go. For me it's also the first time, so I hope it works. I screw in my spark plug, my modified spark plugs. I also lathe up two of these to set the height, and also I've made up these pieces of tube 45 mm long. These are approx 30 mm high, which go on here. This is to avoid that my plate will tilt and put strain on these bolts, and the head may come off slightly tilted and jam. There we go with that plate. I've got my two bolts, M14. It should go in here. Tighten them up. These ones are not your regular bolts because they don't come this long in threaded, or at least I couldn't find them. So I bought some lengths of threaded rod, and then of the higher quality. That's why they are black. It's 10.9 quality. I cut them. I couldn't saw them because I had to cut them with the angle grinder. And then I made a hollow point in here, same as our bullets, because this has a rounded top. So if you go here on here with a flat piece, it may slide to the side and then slide off. So if you make this hollow, it will stay straight on top. I put some anti-seizure stuff on the bottom and on my threads. Okay, thread it in. Do them all up tight, hand tight. I have a domed nut on the top because I will tie them down, and if I tie them down with a normal nut, the nut will go down and nothing will happen. With a domed nut, the domed nut will push the rod down. So I tied everything up. She's loose already, which means she's coming up. And from where I am, I can already see, and I can already put my nail in between the head gasket and the head. There we go. We don't need to be Schwarzenegger to do this job. Every time part of a turn, so we get it nice and even, straight up. Probably getting a bit boring by now. Not for me, because I like it the way it goes up. You can see, I hope you can see, she comes up real nice and even. You might even use a ruler to check the height between here and here if you want to be really precise. What I didn't tell you, I soaked these threads with oil, with light oil, before the night before. We're a bit further down the line now, because we ran out of battery from the camera. It's our first movie. In the meantime, I checked with my tape measure everywhere. It's 2 inch. I'm 2 inch up. All around I'm straight. So we're going to do the last bit of it. Here you can see that the threaded rods go all the way down into the head. That's why you need to choose a thread which is much smaller than the hole in the head. For me, these are metric 10mm balls, these black ones. You can see she comes off really easy, but that might not be the case with yours. Especially if she's been out in the field for like 30 years. This one has been in the shed for 30 years. You have to go all the way up, because these studs are much longer than the other studs. So you have to lift her up all the way over these longer studs where the water outlet is. I can now use only the 4 corner bolts, I think. A little bit of measurement. Go to the back. Let's come off now.